Hey there, you're watching the fabulous CBBC channel, and it's now time to join Konnie, Zoe, Gethin and Andy for Blue Peter.
It wasn't always widescreen TVs and plasma TVs and PlayStation 3s.
It's that's strange. I would never watch this.
It's a shame they don't have anything like this on TV today. Because I'd watch it.
Hello and welcome to the first of two very special Blue Peters, all about the history of children's television.
Yes, now today there are about 25 dedicated channels for children carrying thousands of different shows. But back when it all started in the 1940s, there was only one children's programme a week.
So what would you, the viewers of today, make of the programmes your parents and your grandparents used to watch and love?
There's only one way to find out. Welcome to our TV time slip.
In this space, we can basically travel through time. How cool.
It's really cool. Hey, do you know what, Con? I think I used to have a sofa like that.
No way.
Definitely. We've invited 4 21st century children to journey back in time. The group will spend a day in the 90s, a day in the 80s, 70s, 60s and 50s. And we'll be watching all the reactions from in here.
Not only will they get to watch some of the TV shows of the day, they'll get to sample the clothes, the food and the games.
The only link they'll have to the present day is in here, the diary room, where we'll ask them to come to give us their thoughts, good or bad. So, to find out how they think they'll cope without their modern day luxuries, we met up with our 4 time travellers in their 21st century homes.
Hi, I'm Janty. I'm 12. I live in Congleton in Cheshire. Mainly listen to like rap music and stuff like that. I love my MP3. I also beatbox. The only reason you put your hand over is to stop the spit going everywhere. This is my dad in the 60s as a boy. I think I might be wearing stuff like this. I'm not sure. I hope not anyway. I'm gonna miss the 21st century. I think I'm gonna be in for a shock.
Hi, my name's Amira and I'm from North West London and I'm 11 years old. My favourite colour is pink and I have lots of pink things. I have all the gadgets I need. I can call my friends, I can play my game and I can message people. I'm going to miss the 21st century, but I'm also looking forward to travelling back and seeing what life was like without as much technology as we have today.
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm 10 years old and I come from Pembrokeshire in southwest Wales. Because I live by the coast, most of my hobbies are outside activities. That's a good shot. I can't remember anything from the 90s because I was so small. Every decade that I'm going to go back into is probably going to be new for me. I'm going to miss the 21st century, but I'm looking forward to seeing what my parents' life when they were a kid was like and see if the telly was more boring or more exciting than it is now.
My name is Emily. I am 11 years old and I live in Wellington, Somerset. I love my garden because I've got 2 pet rabbits called Bungie and Toffee. I also like playing on my quad bike. Well, this is my dad and this is my mum when they're about 11 years old and they didn't really watch television that much, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they missed out on.
Our experiment begins here in the 1990s.
Although it was only the previous decade, some of the programmes we're going to be showing our time travellers went out before they were even born.
The 1990s was the decade when the internet really took off. Affordable camcorders meant that everyone could star on their own TVs. And green issues began to make an impact.
Once the children had changed into 1990s gear, it was time for the experiment to start.
Actually not that different, is it?
No. What does FAB mean?
This is the only good thing that's on the table.
First of all, they investigated the games and gadgets of the era.
Hey, Amira, how do you turn this on?
Then they sampled the snacks.
Do you prefer brown or white?
So far, time travellers were still on familiar ground.
Not actually that different to food today.
Finally, it was time to watch the television shows. The schedule started with something they all recognised.
Teletubbies!
Come on, I remember them.
Sing. Must be like petrified.
Twinkie, Dips,
Dipsy. La la la. Pooh. I used to pretend I was Pooh when I was younger.
I can't believe Emily knows all the words.
Hello. Hello.
How did they go?
Body, 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 paw.
Do you like the Teletubbies?
I like it. I think they're a bit too big.
There's not much to it, but you don't really care about that when you're young.
The language is understandable because little kids don't have as good as grammar as us.
Man, man, man.
Run the Risk was a gungy game show.
Run the risk.
Hurrah!
It's Shane. Shane Ritchie. That looks exactly like him.
It is him, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is him.
Oh, look, they've recognised Shane Ritchie.
Alfie. They know him off EastEnders.
He looks so much younger, doesn't he?
Run the risk! Name the famous fictional character who was shipwrecked on a desert island.
David Guinness.
All right, we can't answer that.
They each get this mega ghetto blaster!
The prizes,
Fun hairdryer and crazy board games.
I would have actually handed it back to him and said, get lost.
Oh, there's Aunt and Dad.
Jammy Dodger, chocolate finger, coconut ring, Garibaldi, lemon pie! Biscuits, biscuits, we love a nice biscuit. So run out of biscuits, we just wouldn't risk it. Hobnob, custard cream, bourbon, Jasper,
Glued.
Loving it.
It is, isn't it? Are you sure? Oh, yes, it is.
They've got the wrong person.
I think it's Matt Lucas.
How weird is that?
Here's £5. I want Peter Simon taken out.
It was really funny, and there's not much of a difference with them being younger and them now because they're still funny.
It's funny how none of the girls ever want to snog you, isn't it?
Yes, they do.
As Seen on TV was a video diary show shot entirely by children.
Both of my mum and my stepdad are deaf. A lot of people stare at me when I talk to my mum, but they don't realise that she's deaf and that I have no choice but to speak to her like the way I do.
I thought it was a pretty good show because it gave children a bit of a chance to see what it would be like to film something on TV.
What would your advice be to people who get teased about your deafness like me?
They don't know the thing.
We would moan, oh, I've got a scratch on my knee. But it kind of shows that.
It's really nice because she said if she could change her mum to someone who could hear, she would say no.
My eyes bite a groove in it.
It's Baker Grove, like.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Dead cool, isn't you? So's a packet of frozen peas.
How about a ceasefire? Take it out on Friday.
I'll have to consult my diary, of course.
She looks like she should be with an older crowd because she looks a lot older than all of them.
An apology for a boyfriend.
There wasn't really a strong storyline at all. It was pretty boring.
The programme's already started.
Yep, the film hasn't.
Look, I'm not missing the adverts of the best bits.
I thought the television from the 90s was quite good, and you can see that other programmes have built on programmes from the past, but they really need to take some fashion tips, I'm telling you.
Before we rewind to the next era of television, let's go back even further in time to find out how it all started.
Imagine a world with no TV, none of your favourite programmes, and worst of all, no Blue Peter. But that's what might have happened if it wasn't for one of the most important inventors of all time, John Logie Baird, the inventor of the television.
John was born in Helensburgh in Scotland in 1888, where his father was a local priest.
From an early age, John was a determined inventor, and it was here at the Baird family home where he began to experiment. This used to be his bedroom, and although a lot has changed since he lived here, there's still one little reminder of his presence. He scratched his initials on the window, JLB, John Logie Baird, though I don't advise you try this at home. When John was only 14, he built a telephone exchange so that he could communicate from this house to all of his friends. How cool is that? Back then, houses didn't really have electricity, so John built a generator to power his parents' house. Not only that, but he built a flying machine which he launched off that roof.
You just don't understand, Father. I really don't want to do it. It's not me.
John's father wanted him to become a priest and follow in his footsteps, but for John, that wasn't an option. As far as he was concerned, inventing was his destiny. He quickly turned his sights to the idea of transmitting pictures from one place to another.
But before he made history, John went to university.
Shh.
Was refused entry to the army because he was always ill. Worked for an electricity company. Set up a business selling socks. And travelled to the West Indies to make jam.
But things went from bad to worse. Within a year, John returned to the UK almost penniless and tried his hand at selling soap. By now, he was desperately ill and he moved to this house in Hastings where he stayed with an old friend. With funds getting very low, John began to dream up inventions in an attempt to make some money.
Glass razors were a great idea because they didn't rust, but they still had one slight problem. He even tried shoes containing air cushions 50 years before air soles were invented for trainers, but they failed too.
Feeling a bit down, John went for a walk along the cliff tops. As he walked, his mind drifted back to earlier thoughts he'd had about transmitting moving pictures through the air.
By the time he reached home, he had thought up the plans for the world's first television. Made from tea chests, a hat box, needles, wax and some lenses, the contraption filled his bedroom. Unlike modern TVs, John's invention was mechanical. A key part of his device was a spinning disc, which turned images into electric pulses.
Very soon, he had managed to transmit a simple image of a metal cross a short distance across his room. He knew he was on the right track. He moved to a larger workshop above these shops, but nearly killed himself with a 2,000-volt electric shock when some equipment exploded. After the explosion, unsurprisingly, John's landlord asked him to move out. So he set up laboratory here in a small attic room in London.
Almost penniless and about to give up hope, he had a breakthrough. Using this camera and this model head called Stooky Bill, he managed to transmit the world's first television pictures.
The early pictures were pretty basic. This is how it would have looked back then. They weren't in colour and were made up of 30 lines compared to over 600 today. But the important thing was he'd done it. John Logie Baird had invented television. Believe it or not, despite all he'd achieved, his wish to bring TV to the people was initially spoiled by us, the BBC. The BBC had been broadcasting radio from here, Broadcasting House, since the 1920s, but they refused to accept that television was worth testing. John Reith, the Director General of the BBC at the time, said,
"Television is a social menace of the first magnitude."
Basically, he didn't see it had a future. It wasn't until the government stepped in that the BBC reluctantly agreed to test Baird's invention.
There's joy in store, the world is at your door. It's here for everyone to view. Conjured up in sound and sight by the magic rays of light that bring television to you.
Mix on new camera one.
70 years ago, the BBC started transmitting the world's first public television service from this tower here at Alexandra Palace in North London. But by this time, Baird had competition, and the BBC decided to test his system against that of a rival company. Unfortunately, within only a few months, they announced that they preferred the other TV system over John's invention. 3 years later, at the start of the Second World War, television services stopped altogether. Baird evacuated his family but stayed in London to continue his research. He helped on secret government projects and developed radar, which was used to locate enemy planes. He even invented 3D television. As the war came to an end, he moved back to the south coast. Sadly, his health grew worse, and on the 14th of June 1946, aged 57, he died. But Baird's legacy lived on. His inventions paved the way for modern colour television as we know it. He even invented an early form of video recorder that recorded TV pictures on wax discs. Today, there are hundreds of TV channels in the UK, and none of them would be here if John Logie Baird hadn't seen the future.
Meanwhile, we were more concerned with the past. Our journey back in time continues with a visit to the 80s, the decade when you were no one if you didn't have your very own dancing plant.
Yeah, and the height of cool was knowing the words to Club Tropicana by Wham. Club Tropicana, drinks are free. During the 80s, traditional industries like coal and steel began to disappear. Video recorders became very popular, so you could watch your favourite films and TV when you wanted to. And people became more health conscious, which led to the craze for aerobics.
What would they make of 80s clothes? Looking good, Jonty?
They look hilarious.
They're a bit baggy around the knees.
I wouldn't wear any of them.
But the headband looks cute.
They look like a bit of dodgy pyjamas, really.
I remember Garfield. There's instructions.
One of the gadgets had at least stood the test of time.
But they weren't so impressed with the food.
Oh, they're disgusting. I didn't know Quantum was that old.
1980s TV featured stars that are still popular today.
I know who he is. Oh, he's Richard. From Richard and Judy.
Richard Madeley, that's hilarious.
Did you know, like, Chucklevisions was that old?
Well, this would be the moon.
I think they look like kind of the same, but they've got like big hair bits going down the back.
Can I bite your moon?
I thought Chucklevision was like funny, not as funny as it is now.
No, can't see anything. I certainly can.
It did look very dated, it looked old.
Are they brothers? Are they actually brothers?
I don't know.
Chuckle brothers.
Not everything went down so well, though.
Look at the clothes.
The full title of the show was the somewhat contradictory "Why don't you switch off your TV set and do something less boring instead?"
I stick them on the back of the sheep at angles. Then you get two pieces of long string.
This is really boring. They're acting like they're in front of a million people,
No, we're not
just
meant to
like
be scared.
standing in front of them, not on TV.
We're just losing concentration, aren't we?
Yeah. Who are you expecting to film?
Oh, the speaking clock. I'll see you later.
Strange. I feel sorry. I would never watch this. Why would we want to watch this?
There's your water bomb. All you've got to do is add the water.
Is that the water?
They don't get it, do they?
No, they're just not buying into it at all. Look at Jonty's face.
I think it was really rubbish because the children, they were over-exaggerating way too much.
Ooh, this is typical.
Think Again was a factual show.
Hello and welcome once again to Think Again, which this week is all about... It's gone. You remember? Chairs. You can't do without chairs. I mean, how can you sit at a desk if you haven't got a chair?
That's good. How they did that.
If someone said, oh, there's a great programme about chairs on the TV, you wouldn't, like, say what channel is it on. But they've made it good, haven't they?
And there you've got a chair, which is a beautiful thing to look at and also something to relax in. I'll tell you what, though. Oh, doesn't that bring tears to your eyes?
Johnny Ball was really funny and like, he made it educational, but it wasn't like a boring kind of educational thing.
All that changed in the year of the Restoration.
We could actually relate to it because he was dressing up in different clothes as he went back through history.
It's a shame they don't have anything like this on TV today.
Ooh, because I'd watch it.
That's so different. It's actually like the proper news.
The results of the other election, your election, the one that's been held in hundreds of British schools.
Vote Conservative, because they're going forward, not divided like the SDP alliance, and round the bend like Labour.
He's too grown up. Yeah.
Computers have been helping. This boy at a school near Southampton.
Cool, look how different the computers are. I know. No flat screens.
News round today, it only lasts 5 minutes. This is like half an hour programme.
It wasn't funky enough.
No.
News round
No.
back then.
They've got bored of it quite quickly, haven't they?
Newsround Extra was really kind of hard to follow. All the people who are presenting it are sitting down, and it's really boring because they're talking like adult-like, and we're children.
The Machine Gunners was based on a popular novel.
Oh, was it drama?
Right, now, come on, now let's concentrate.
It's gonna be scary.
Sit back.
I think they're in a bomb shelter. Yeah.
Where's me ma? Where she always is, on the lav.
What's a lav?
Lav. The toilet.
Oh.
There's a dead German in there.
Get away.
It's quite original, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that funny smell?
Oh, it's him. It gets worse the longer you leave them.
I want to go home now, I think. Go on, then. There's probably other dens in the wood, waiting to jump at you.
I think this is the best thing we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's most interesting.
Definitely. Because it's like about the war.
Wow, they like it.
They're engrossed.
I didn't think they like this at all.
It was really good actually, because it would still be on in the 21st century like now, because people would actually want to watch it, because I know it's about war, but it's interesting.
Tell us where you're going or I won't let you pass. I'd like to see you stop us. Don't worry, you will. Shove off.
It wasn't like posh, like quite a lot of other dramas in that era, so people could like relate to it and sort of, it was a commoner's programme.
I really wanted to watch more.
Our time travelling was over.
I really enjoyed it. I don't like the clothes much, but I think the programmes that we watched were actually quite good.
If everybody else was wearing these clothes, I wouldn't mind wearing them, but like, it wouldn't be my first choice.
And if you'd like to go on your own TV time slip journey, then get to our website, bbc.co.uk/CBBC, and click on Blue Peter.
Yeah, we're going to put 2 clips up from each of the 5 decades, so you can log on and tell us what you think of children's TV from the past by voting for your favourite.
Our TV time slip journey is over for now.
Yes, but next time we'll be taking Jonty, Yeyan, Amira and Emily back to the 70s, 60s and 50s. We'll see you then. Bye.
See ya, bye.
Are you coming with us?
So cheesy. It's like eating live frogs. I wish this was on now.
Would anyone in their right mind eat that?
The theme for today's programme is hard and soft.
I don't think it will ever get on television now. Well, I like it, you might not.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It looks mad. But I think it would be really good for little kids. Then.
Yeah.
Should be seen and not heard, that's the one.